Thank you. So today's lecture, entitled Subjectivities of Search or Agencies of Anonymity, the Black Box versus the Black Bloc. In June 2013, the Snowden revelations exposed the NSA's secret prison program, and with its ability to watch your ideas form as you type, with the live surveillance of search terms. That also inhibits users' exploration of knowledge, as Snowden relates in the documentary Citizen 4 by lawyer Portress. Many people I have talked to have mentioned that they are careful about what they type into search engines because they know it's being recorded, and that limits the boundaries of their intellectual exploration. Although Snowden's revelations have opened users' eyes to the Five Eyes and state surveillance of citizens, Google's proprietary black box remains closed. As people consult the Oracle, not only for answers to their questions, but in search of knowledge or truth, search results are returned, yet they are opaquely created as Google collects users' intimate thoughts and interests as data with every search query. With around 8.2 billion requests per day, ubiquitous Googling has become a habit for the way users find information in an era of surveillance capitalism. Research, the personalized subject versus the anonymous user. Applying a critical ethnography of the self, I carried out truth games with algorithms by designing an experiment in living, where I searched with these specific keywords as my input. I'm not going to read them all. The personalized subject investigates Google's algorithm along with personalization, which purportedly customizes the user's search habits to offer relevant results. It postulates how Google search organizes users through subjectivities of search. In order to discover the art of not being governed like that and at that cost, I attempted to reimagine search by engaging with a comparative model, the anonymity browser Tor, the onion router. The anonymous user explores whether one could be anonymous online, whether one receives divergent search results, and the degrees of user agency. So, this Google versus Tor, I compared inscriptive modes of address by searching on two computers. One using Google Search in a Firefox browser on a completely personalized Mac, so I'm signed into my Gmail account, no ad blocking plugins, no incognito. They captured my IP address. The other is a hacker-approved, clean Lenovo PC with a Debian operating system running the Tor browser, which hides my IP address through layers of encryption. According to John Durham Peters, Google has become a media a priori, indexing the web and collecting user data, so IP address, search queries, clicks, etc., as it provides hyperlinks, often based on ads that are extremely profitable. The Tor peer-to-peer network is a mesh of proxy servers in which data is bounced through 3 random relays, entry, middle, exit, wrapping it in layers of encryption like an onion, and forwarding it to the next relay, thereby not divulging the IP address of the user until the exit node. I scraped data and saved complete web pages on the 1st, the 10th, the 20th, the 30th, the 40th, the 50th, etc. web pages of my results. This is sometimes what I receive from Google. We're sorry, but your computer or network may be sending automated queries. To protect our users, we can't process your request right now. Google perceived me as a bot, and I started over. I also received captchas from the Tor browser. In both, I exported the complete web pages, the data, as CSV files, which I then gave to interactive designer Richard Vrije, who designed this whole data set, and this is using processing software. I also exhibited the prints of my data set, called Research Terms of Art, at the exhibition Hacking Habitat in Utrecht, the Netherlands. So the green links represent matches, though the ranking is different. The white links are unique results. Google is on the left, Tor is on the right. So even though the hyperlink is shortened for this visualization, the whole link is being captured. So some findings. Ranking, advertisement. Platform capitalism facilitates Google promoting its own services, and in this instance, books.google.dk, as it intervenes, serving up ads that influence the user's experience and operates as a visibility engine that sources certain topics as it bolsters its own interests. Findings, ranking, authenticity. The IP address not only enables user identification, but also locative data collection and, along with the algorithmic interpretation of the prefix post. So with the word post-internet, I received results pertaining to Danish postal services and information regarding the governmental e-post, showing that locative data was being collected, or with Post Media, different newspapers, media outlets worldwide. Findings, unique results. I also obtained unique results. What is now known is that the third most important signal, after links and content, is called rank brain, and this is the machine learning artificial intelligence system that uses neural networks finding unique queries, which are unfamiliar to Google's algorithms. We also designed this iPad. It had an app on it. We called it a panopticon prayer wheel, where you could spin it and click on the links. And then it shows the matches of the links between the visualization that I just showed you, only three-dimensionally. And this is the back end mock-up. So, drawing on the results from my methods, I use the hidden organizational structure of the IP address as a conceptual hinge, combined with Alexander Galloway's title, Black Bloc, to show these relations between these two different forms. And it's a short video of about 5 minutes. The effects of the black bloc proposes that as the amount of anonymity increases with Tor, so does human agency. At the same time, the degree of personalization decreases. The effects of the black box proposes that as Google's personalization increases, so does the amount of computational agency. At the same time, the degree of anonymity decreases. Building upon Zuboff's Big Others logic of accumulation, users have become valuable resources as data producers, where the extraction process of surveillance capitalism enables behavior surplus, so user search queries and interactions, that in turn produces prediction products. The past years, as Google has become more arcane about its logic of accumulation and data reusage, citizens have become increasingly unboxed through these algorithmic filtering processes. Rather than drawing on human memory, users consult the oracle, thereby instantiating in Google We Trust as an organizational theology. I postulate how Google assigns searching subjects into collectives, or nowadays called cohorts, comprised of those users with similar interests through collaborative filtering, a method of making automatic predictions about the interests of a user by assuming their preferences based on other users who showed similar interests. Therefore, the search results are not individual or personalized, but sorted and grouped to match those of others like them or use as data dust contained within Google's databases. By quantifying user search data into economic value as surveillance assets to define match audiences, user behavior is influenced and modified, thereby organized, which in turn generates prediction products for an advertisement market that trades exclusively in future user behavior. Google Ad Agency not only attempts to organize the world's information, itself a colonial project, but users, us. So some conclusions. In the collective black box, it is Google's algorithms that assign me into this or that category via my IP address and other identity markers. However, I do not have access to the Google collective itself. I am constantly switched into different clusters by an algorithmically organized process, cyber organization, that I have no knowledge and no agency in regard to these profiles and database categories. The techno-ecologies of these search algorithms are not oracles and have bias, requiring interpretation of their assumed autonomy, and raise questions regarding the politics of human interaction, discrimination, and agency. Questions remain. To what extent do humans adapt to these algorithms, and whether not only computational agency, but also user agency can be produced? In contrast to the constant flux of algorithmic clustering by Google, with the Tor browser I am not, as Ursula Franklin might have said, commanded as I am with Google's search's prescriptive technologies. Instead, I organize myself by choosing which collective I wish to be part of, in this case Tor, the peer-to-peer anonymity network, which increases in strength the more users use it. Tor's collective is at least partially known to me through the list of the exit node operators on the left, whom I decide to trust, as I do have an expectation of privacy when using Tor. It would still take a concerted effort to de-anonymize the user, as the entry node and exit nodes would need to be known, along with the user's IP address, collected at the sites visited, and to conspire with the ISP providers, who knows the user's IP address, and governmental actors. Can the Tor collective be considered a recursive public? Anthropologist Chris Kelty draws on examples of free software and internet infrastructure to map out what he terms recursive publics. Recursive publics are recursive because they are concerned with the layers of technical and legal infrastructure which are necessary for, say, the internet to exist as an infrastructure of the public. Gert Lovink's reflection on Kelty's text is also insightful. Recursive not only points at making, maintaining, and modifying, but also the depth of the technical and legal layers. Geeks argue about technology, but they also argue through it. They express ideas, but they also express infrastructures through which ideas can be expressed in new ways. I think invoking some of these ideas might be relevant here, especially in order to create some mistrust regarding Google's organizational theology. Some conclusions. The Black Bloc Collective offers tactics of resistance with a Tor browser that inhibits pure visibility by facilitating various degrees of obfuscation, ranging from pseudonymity or unreachability to programming bots that imitate human interaction. The key difference is that I decide to be in the anonymous Tor collective, trusting my privacy to unknown actors instead of putting trust in Google that assigns me to a particular collective through their non-transparent process of collaborative filtering. The effects of the Black Bloc, agencies of anonymity, reflect my ability to intervene with my limited tech savvy and embodied various levels of user agency. Aside from its other merits, Tor is also one, albeit not the only, strategy to organize democratic political agency as a recursive public in combating Google's subjectivities of search made possible by surveillance capitalism. Thanks for your attention.